But I think that's going to put us like at the episode right before Christmas.
Yeah.
To unveil the champion,
The ultimate
Christmas movie.
This case should never have come to trial.
I don't think it's fair to call my clients frauds. Because one time I turned into a dog and they helped me. Thank you.
Your Honor, we would like to withdraw our plea of not guilty and enter a plea of guilty.
This trial is a travesty. It's a travesty of a mockery, of a sham, of a mockery, of a travesty, of two mockeries, of a sham.
If we are to have faith in justice, we need only to believe in ourselves.
And the truth shall set you free!
How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Oh, guilty, but with a real good excuse.
I think the truth will come forth.
You can't handle the truth!
Hello, it is time for some more Law Light. We are excited today because it is time for some more Law Light. Brought to you by Foreman, Watson, Holtry, FWHlegal.com. We are located, recording this live and in effect at 530 Frederica Street at the High Rise White Brick Edifice. And PJ is with me today instead of in quarantine. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm not locked down, so...
And just so everybody knows, we sit 6 feet apart when we record this.
At least.
And we have these filters that really catch all of our breath and take the peas out of pops. And
it's the pop filter.
The pop filter.
Right.
And now we're going to call this the COVID pop filter.
That's right. It stops you and I from spitting on each other's face, even from 6 feet away.
There we go. So this is a safe environment, and we are geared up for some Law Light today, buddy.
We are.
Yes, we are. Even though we got some news from the governor where the old quietus has been put down on a lot of things like restaurants and bars and schools and all that kind of thing. It's no longer recommendations. It is order.
Right.
So
what is quietus?
Quietus means halt. Just the old quietus. You never heard that word?
I've never heard that word.
It's a great word. The quietus.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Quiet. So to make quiet, to end, to stop. That's the root of it.
Okay.
So the governor ordered some quietuses today.
Yes. I will demand quietus from my children going forward.
That's right. I am hereby requiring quietus. So anyway, that's what's going on outside the office. Inside the office, as our social media and our announcements have been, we have scaled way back again.
Yep.
We are back in the conservative mode of running things in the office at a very small staffing and doing, I would say, 70 to 80% of our work off-site. So it is back to, let's get this under control so that we're not doing this 2 years from now. And so as the numbers continue to rise, we will do our part at the old FW to make sure that that we are keeping everybody safe and healthy. All right?
Sounds good. I just wonder, once we hit the end of this new wave of shutdowns, are they going to compare where we were at the last time we opened up? And if it looks like it's the same, they're going to stay the course? Or are they going to try to open? I just wonder what's going to happen.
I don't know. We could have a gazillion podcast conversations about what I feel.
Right.
It's not going to change anything, and I don't think anybody that tells you they know what's going to happen does, because they don't.
Right.
That's what it comes down to.
Well, I can tell you this: whatever you do not, because I'm fascinated with history and how things go. So I started researching the tuberculosis epidemic that our country went through. Yikes. Let's hope it's not another one of those. I mean, it's not as severe as the tuberculosis epidemic, but that lasted for 59 years before they found a vaccine.
Well, I don't think we're there, because I think our vaccine is right on the doorstep.
Yeah.
Now, it's a question of, I'd gladly let you be the first to take the...
I'm not, yeah. You know me, I'm a hypochondriac, so I'm going to kind of sit in the shadows and make sure that people don't turn into zombies or get riddled with cancer before,
facial droop and
eye
ticks and hair on half the side of their head falls out.
It's 95% effective, which means there is a 5% chance that your head will explode.
Well,
So-
no, I think it's a 5% chance you can still get it.
Oh, well.
Okay, there you go.
Is that what that 5%
Yeah,
is for?
that's right. It's 90-something% effective, in that meaning that there is still a chance that you could get COVID and still be juiced with all the juices. All right.
Right. There's a lot of juice going on there.
We got holidays coming up.
We do.
And you know, one thing before I get to that, I want to kind of lay the foundation here. I got an opinion back in a case, in a disputed case, and found out I got it 2 days ago and found out that I had lost. Okay, on an issue.
Right.
And at first, I was kind of upset, and then I kind of had the ability to look back on it and say, okay, well, I wouldn't have done anything different. I was just kind of handed a tough little set of facts to deal with in this circumstance.
Yeah.
And I realized that the way I'm wired as a lawyer it's not the way all lawyers are, but to do what we do, where we litigate cases, in a very adversarial, I realize that it kind of takes a unique type of person that subjects themselves to that over and over and over. In other words, intellectual adversarial proceedings.
Right.
Where at the end, you can be told no matter how good you did in communicating your position, you lost and your client lost. And, to pick yourself back up and go right back at it the next day and the next day and the next day, it's like this. There's nothing to me more beautiful. Well, besides my wife, there is nothing more beautiful than a system that allows there to be head-to-head confrontation about important matters, but done within a system of rules to effectuate justice.
Right.
That is a beautiful thing. And if there aren't people who are willing to engage in that process and be told they're wrong, then the process doesn't work. So if I get beat and let a series of losses in cases or setbacks in cases say, I'm not doing this anymore, then we would never ever reach justice, because that it requires a sifting and a pounding and a beating out of the facts and the law, and so it's a great process, even though it hurts at times. And the reason I'm saying all this is not because I want to make the whole podcast about that.
Right.
It's because today we are unveiling the head-to-head Christmas movie bracket, where we are going to put one Christmas movie against another Christmas movie, and it's going to be a head-on collision. It is going to be a battle of all battles. It will be an epic battle of Christmas movies as we reveal
the Christmas bracket.
The Christmas bracket. The Christmas movie bracket.
What a weird segue.
Wasn't that the greatest?
It was. That was pretty. I didn't know where you were going with that.
Well, it's because Law Light is first educational.
Correct.
And second, fun.
Yes.
And now we can have the fun.
Awesome. Let's
All right.
do it.
I'm done preaching, brother.
Sounds good.
PJ.
All right.
About a month ago, we decided. It was shortly after we had the street brawl bracket that was just kind of spontaneous, right?
Yeah.
We decided that it would be fun for us and kind of put the onus on you, since you're a movie guy. You're a movie buff.
Right.
Right.
An aficionado. If you will.
But we need to quietus that.
Right.
Okay, because we can't let that affect your voting.
Oh, yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what I asked you to do, and I think I might have screwed up already, but I said I wanted you to come up with a list of, I think I initially said 16.
I'm pretty sure you said 16,
but I think I heard you complaining that it's hard to get it down to 16, and I thought I might have said,
it
okay,
really
well, then
was.
Let's start off with 32.
It was.
Did I not ever say let's start off with 32?
No, I'm pretty sure it was 16.
Did you feel liberated when I said expand the list to 32 then, today?
Yeah, because the initial list that I had written, I was up to 24. Right. And there were more that I wanted to put on the list, but I was like trying to figure out how I was going to narrow it down to 16.
Okay, so now what we're going to do today is we are going to encourage people that are listening, and we need to really get the word out about this episode. Okay,
Right.
we need to say, please, email us your thoughts, call us, text us, whatever your thoughts, because
Yes.
we're going to be having these discussions today. We're just going to reveal the 32. Okay, and
Sounds
the pairings, right?
Right.
We're gonna
Which there are aplenty.
Right. So there are 32, which means we have 16 pairings. After the first head-to-head round, which what we're going to do now is, if I'm correct, it'll go from 32 to 16 on the next episode, and then from 16 to 8 on the next episode,
Okay.
and then from 8 to 4 on the next episode, from 4 to 2 on the next episode, and then from 2 to 1 on. And if I did my math right, if I did my math correct,
I'm going to agree with you because I suck at math.
I think, not as bad as I do, bud. I was great in English and terrible at math. But I think that's going to put us like at the episode right before Christmas
Yeah.
to unveil the champion,
The ultimate
Christmas movie as voted upon by Done Lite podcast.
Yep.
It's got to
So for the love of Santa Claus,
vote.
tell us
your thoughts.
The only way to effectuate change is to vote.
That's Brian Jackson. If you are listening,
I had to go with the two strongest, the ones that have created the most controversy.
here in the office, because we've had a little bantering about this, but no voting this. But you've put together these pairings, and these can't be changed because this has the power of PJ behind it. Okay, and here we go. Here we go.
Yes.
I'm going to read the first two, then you'll do the next two. And
Okay.
then- okay. And now, if get a pen and paper, and we can post this.
We should post it.
We will post this on our Facebook, Instagram. You're going to take a picture of this, and I want you to post it on Facebook, Insta, and
Twitter.
on Twitter, and ask people that between now and the next episode
So next
of
Friday.
Raw Light, now and next Friday, they need to send us their
Vote.
thoughts. Vote.
Yes.
Okay? All right, so the first pairing of the 2020, and it's got to be, all right, 2020, that means something screwy is going to happen with this.
Right.
Right. 2020 Christmas Movie Bracket from FW.
First of all, real quick, did I spell bracket right? Or is that only, does it only
Nobody
take
else
one
will
T?
know. Yeah, it's one T.
Okay. That's Sheriff Bracket then from Halloween.
Okay.
Moving on.
Moving on. Let's correct that before we publish it on Facebook.
Yeah,
Twitter,
I'll white
and
that
Instagram.
out.
All right. No, number one and number two, the very first pairing is Die Hard versus Lethal Weapon. Okay. Now we can't comment today.
Right.
We are not vote influencers. We are just here to disseminate the
Dang,
information.
this is going to be tough.
All right.
It's going to be
So,
tough not to say anything.
Yet, because the head-to-head battle has not begun.
That's right.
It's just being announced. This is the announcement of the head-to-head battle.
Yeah.
Are you good with that?
Oh, I'm good with that.
All right. Number one is Die Hard versus Lethal Weapon.
I'm excited about that one. Can I say that?
I think that one is going to spark a lot of interest and controversy.
I absolutely agree. Because that is a debate going back to the days of pharaohs, I believe.
Well, I mean, we start right off with Bruce Willis,
Or at least the
versus
80s.
Mel Gibson. I mean, it
Yeah.
could come down to somebody thinking, "Well, I like Mel Gibson better than Bruce Willis," or "I like
Right.
Bruce Willis." But I mean, it could, nevertheless, the movie line, the plot, the story, it could just come down to that, right?
It's going to be interesting to see the
yeah.
the war
Yeah.
between those two.
Okay, go ahead to the next pairing, please.
Okay, so the next two is Office Christmas Party and The Night Before. They're both comedies.
Okay, can for people like me that
Have no idea.
correct, can you give me like a name of an actor or an actress in these two?
Yeah, Office Christmas Party, which is pretty self-explanatory what it is.
I think I've seen that. Who's in that?
It has Josh Miller in it. It
Okay.
has Jason Bateman is in it.
I have seen that one. I may have to go back and watch some of these to prepare myself for voting. The night before?
The night before, it's Seth Rogen, Anthony Mackie, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's about three friends who always get together on Christmas. And, of course, crazy antics ensue when they get together. It's a... Oh, yeah. Dang it. Okay.
Well, we can say this. What time, what year?
Oh, there's present. It's one of those... They both take place in the wait.
When did it come out? When was the night before?
Well, they both came out, say, within the last 5 years.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, very good. So that pairing, Office Christmas Party versus The Night Before. Okay.
All right.
The next one is great. Okay. Well, we have Jack Frost, the horror film, versus Jack Frost with Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Okay, let me repeat that. And this will all be printed, but we have Jack Frost, the horror film, versus Jack Frost, the one with Michael Keaton. Now, did you have this little smirk on your face when you typed out number 5 and 6?
Yes. Yeah, I knew that would be a good one.
Okay.
So, this isn't giving anything away, but Jack Frost, the horror film version, is actually Shannon Elizabeth's first movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't. And here's the thing: her main scene is so inappropriate. I cannot tell you what it is.
Well, so everybody, if you want to see an inappropriate scene
with Shannon Elizabeth,
right? You just watch Jack Frost, the horror film, so that you can be eligible to vote on
more inappropriate than anything she did in American Pie. So that should tell you something.
Wow. All right. Okay. So, I'm already lost. It's your turn. Okay. So that pairing, Jack Frost, the horror film, versus Jack Frost with Michael Keaton. So that's our third pairing. We're moving on to the fourth pairing. It brings in a heavyweight.
That's right. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and Four Christmases.
Okay. That's an interesting little matchup there.
Yeah.
We may be surprised. I did read something the other day. This is not influencing voting, but I did read something that National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is one of the is one of the number one most quoted movies by Americans.
Oh, absolutely. I quote it all the time.
Yes.
The Jelly of the Month Club.
All the stuff.
Thing. Yeah. I'd make those
rubber
comments.
Lips and things like that. And okay. So anyway,
good talk, Russ.
Yes, good. You kind of look like Russ. So
jeez.
Yeah. So anyhow, moving on. But no, wait. Before we move on, let's repeat that one more time.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation versus Four Christmases.
Superior.
So it's Chevy Chase versus Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn. Or
Reese Witherspoon, whichever one you want to pick.
That's a good one. All right. My time. This is for our fifth pairing. It's A Wonderful Life and Miracle on 34th Street. PJ, let me ask you a question. Okay. Oh, wait. Let me repeat it just so everybody's getting it.
Okay.
I'm jotting this down. That is, our fifth pairing is It's a Wonderful Life versus Miracle on 34th Street. Am I correct that when you first had your list of 16, you came back to where all of the paralegals sit, and you said, hey, here's my list. And you about got chased out of the room because neither of these movies had made your list of the top 16.
They hadn't.
They are on.
No, I had a list of 24, and neither of them were on there. I'm going to tell you right now, I've seen most of It's a Wonderful Life, and I've never seen Miracle on 34th Street. I like classic film, but I just, It's a Wonderful Life just didn't.
Be careful.
Okay. Hello, movie house.
Listen, we're here to announce the pairings. We're not influencing.
Okay, not giving any personal opinions yet.
And once it's said, you can't bring it back. So you have just maybe impaired the ability of this movie to, even if it wins that one, you may have impaired it for future ones. So we really got.
Well, you know what? Here's what I'll do.
Let's put the Quietus.
I've never seen this. This is my opportunity to watch Miracle on 34th Street.
Okay. Yes, it is. You watch that one, and I will watch Jack Frost, the horror film.
I cannot. Okay. I cannot wait to see what you think about that.
All righty. Then. Okay. My turn?
My turn.
Oh, okay. So
Yep.
the fifth pairing was Wonderful Life versus Miracle on 34th Street. Over to
Right.
you for the sixth pairing.
Another heavy hitter, A Christmas Story versus Jingle All the Way.
Oh, Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
my.
Sinbad.
That
which
is
incidentally had a stroke like 2 days ago.
2 days ago. I read that. Hey, you know what? When I was doing the intro to this today on the podcast, and I was saying about head to head, there's nothing more beautiful than just the adversarial of the judicial system, right?
Right.
This, my friend, is a collision of two heavyweight films.
Yeah. And I think Jingle All the Way was Phil Hartman's last movie too.
Oh, it was.
Before he passed away.
So we have Christmas Story versus Jingle All the Way.
Yep.
Christmas Story, another highly quoted movie.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks to TBS.
Yeah, TBS. Yeah, don't they play a marathon of it? Like
24 hours every single year. It's going to be interesting though now that most television is moving towards streaming platforms. I wonder how they're going to do.
We'll do that.
I wonder if every year a TBS app will just do 24 hours.
I don't know.
We'll find
see.
out.
Sixth pairing before we move to seventh was Christmas Story versus Jingle All the Way.
Yep.
Over to me for the seventh pairing.
Once again, you're like, what?
Okay, so Krampus, Krampus.
Yep.
I have no clue. And Gremlins. Gremlins, I do. I was actually talking to my stepson about the movie Gremlins just the other day. So my pairing that I've just announced, which is number 7, is Krampus versus Gremlins.
Krampus came out, I think, around like 2012, 2013.
Okay. Gremlins is older than that.
Yeah.
Gremlins is 80s?
Yeah, it's directed by Joe Dante, produced by Steven Spielberg.
80s.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
All right, on to you, buddy. And another, man, you are getting to announce some. Wow, the next one.
Oh yeah, and this has become another heavy hitter, just like right out of the gate. So the next two is Elf and Fred Claus, which is another Vince Vaughn Christmas movie. Elf versus Fred Claus.
That's the 8th pairing. If you're keeping track with us, two heavy hitters: Elf versus Fred Claus. 9th pairing. Over to me.
Yep.
Another one. You know, this is really great. Whoever had the idea of doing this movie pairing head-to-head bracket, I mean, what an idea.
I know. Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you. Ready?
Yes.
Home Alone versus The Santa Claus.
Both of those seminal films in
Yes, they
in
are.
many children's lives.
9th pairing was Home Alone versus The Santa Claus. My stepson had on Sunday. We had a very long day on Saturday, out about running around doing a gazillion things. He was tired. So Sunday, he laid in bed and he watched Home Alone 4 times.
Why not a 5th time?
He told us that boy is really smart.
Right. And those parents are really irresponsible.
Yeah. Great movie. So is Santa Claus. That's a great pairing. Good job, man. Over to you for number 10, the pairing number 10.
Yep. It is A Very Harold and Kumar Christmas versus Ernest Saves Christmas, which are two polar opposite
That's
films.
right. That's an interesting one just because of the just being...
Yeah, one's a
bipolar.
family film. Harold and Kumar is obviously more an adult-oriented comedy. But I can't say. Never mind.
Very good. Thank you for putting the quietus
I put the quietus on what I was about to say.
Okay, so pairing number 10, announce it one more time.
A Very Harold and Kumar Christmas versus Ernest Saves Christmas.
Indeed. Maybe somebody could save 2020's Christmas.
Jim Varney's passed away, so unfortunately it's not going to be Ernest.
Takes us to pairing number 11.
That's right.
And I will announce that it's Scrooged versus A Christmas Carol with George C. Scott.
Yeah. And there's a lot of Christmas Carol versions. So
Right.
And there's several that I appreciate. So it was tough kind of narrowing those
A Christmas
down.
Carol with George C. Scott versus Scrooged.
Right.
Good one. Good one. See what you did there.
Yep.
I see what you did there. You can announce number 12.
Okay. Number 12 is A Charlie Brown Christmas versus The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
I thought that would be a fun pairing.
Yes, that's creative.
A classic versus a modern classic.
Classic versus a modern classic.
Which was also kind of the last one as well.
Yes. Are we ready for, okay, so announce 12 one more time before we move on. We want to give everybody a fair shake. It was A Charlie Brown Christmas versus
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Very good. All right, I think that's a good one. The next one, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles versus Trading Places.
Those aren't pillows.
This one, now wasn't there some discussion about trains, planes, and automobiles in the room in here when you came in? Like that was on the 23, 24 when you were, wasn't that what kind of?
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Peripheral? Okay.
Yeah, that was one of those ones where I really wanted to keep it in the list, but I thought I was going to have to narrow it down to 16, so I was worried it wouldn't make the cut.
But and that's understandable when you see some of the heavy hitters up above. But this, there's always a sleeper when it comes to votes. So next, you are announcing pairing number 14.
That's right.
No, you didn't do this.
Are you looking at the next one? Or are you looking at this one?
I just announced Planes, Trains, Automobiles versus Trading Places. So, but look what you did. All right, go ahead.
This just felt like a natural progression. And it's Home Alone 2 versus the Santa Claus 2.
Right. Yeah, you know what would be interesting is if somehow the way these brackets come down, that we you could let's see, yeah, I mean eventually it could be interesting to see if you had Home Alone 1 versus Home Alone 2,
right, or
Santa Claus 1 versus Santa Claus 2. Okay,
yeah.
All right, so that's pairing number 14, Home Alone 2 versus Santa Claus 2. It moves us to number 15 pairing, Silent Night, Deadly Night. There we go.
I love the look on your face.
Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Black Christmas.
That's right, and that's the 78 version, or I'm sorry, 74 version. Black Christmas. 78 was Halloween, but 74 was the Black Christmas. Okay, there's also a remake from 2006, and then there's a 2019 remake of Black Christmas as well. But that's the original Black Christmas.
Original Black Christmas.
Yes.
When we fix bracket, we need to probably put
the 74 in there.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Just so we have a fair vote.
Right.
So that there's no question about fraud. There's no question about it being rigged.
Right.
Let me
well,
tell you
plus
something.
I can tell you
we are doing away with conspiracy theorists on this vote.
Yes. This is yeah. It's going to be.
Please specify
I will.
Which Black Christmas.
I will.
Because
I can tell you right now, if somebody watches the new Black Christmas versus Silent Night, Deadly Night, then Silent Night, Deadly Night's going to win.
Yes.
Because the new Black Christmas.
Terrible. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move. That's why it's important.
Right.
We don't want to have anybody whine about the fact that the true Black Christmas got nixed because we didn't specify.
Right.
All right.
Which I know would really upset you.
It would, in light of these weak pairings above it.
Right.
You know.
I know you're a big Bob Clark fan.
Bob who?
Bob Clark.
Oh, that's
he made
who's
Porky's.
Oh, okay.
And incidentally directed A Christmas Story.
Are you trying to influence the vote for A Christmas Story?
No, I'm just giving you little factoids.
Thank you. Toids. Toids in my toilet.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Last pairing. Drum roll.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas versus Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Once again, this is I'm on How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I'll specify, but it's the original cartoon version that had Boris Karloff do the voiceover.
Okay, are you going to specify?
Yes, I'll specify on that one.
Now, we're going to get some complaints. The great, I could not...
Are you talking about because it's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
No, we're going to get some complaints about some movies that didn't make the list.
Yeah, no, I know. Because like Frosty the Snowman is a great movie.
Frosty's not on there.
I know.
But if we add one, we have to add 3 more because it has to be 40.
Right. Are you wanting to add more Christmas? No, but here's the thing. There's so many Christmas movies out there. There's some I haven't seen in a while, and I had to look them up. and a bunch of them I do own, but I haven't watched them in a while. And I mean, there's lists out there with like the 100 best Christmas movies. Now, a bunch of them are like Lifetime films or, A Prince for Christmas.
Here's what we'll do.
So,
if people feel strongly about the fact that some movie was nixed,
right,
they have to plead their case as to which movie it should replace in the bracket. We are not expanding the bracket beyond 32. And then you and I are the vote on whether or not that movie. So, for example, let's say somebody comes up and says, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer should be on there before the original Black Christmas.
Right.
All right. Then you and I are going to vote. We're going to, if they can't just say it should be, they have to say here's why, because they have to use some intellect. They have to argue their point, just like you do in court.
So, listeners, I hope you are part of the debate team.
So here we go. And then you and I will vote based upon their case. We will be the judge.
We're going to get a lot of that with the first two. I can tell you right now.
The last pairing was How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And the only thing that can affect this list is if our listeners email, call, text, let us know, write it down, slip it under our door in our office. However, I don't care. Mail us. Send us mail. Old-fashioned mail. But we have to be... To replace somebody on the bracket, they must tell us which movie should replace which movie and spell out the reasons why, and then we'll vote.
Sounds good.
Good? This has been the Christmas movie bracket. This has been a very good time. I've had fun. This has been enjoyable, and this is what podcasting is
That's right.
all about.
I believe everything you just said.
Brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtry, FWHlegal.com, 530 Frederick Street at the high-rise white brick edifice until next Friday when we begin to chisel the list from 32 down to 16. Y'all be good, be safe, and stay healthy.
This case should never have come to trial.
I don't think it's fair to call my clients frauds. Because one time I turned into a dog and they helped me. Thank you.
Your Honor, we would like to withdraw our plea of not guilty and enter a plea of guilty.
This trial is a travesty. It's a travesty of a mockery, of a sham, of a mockery, of a travesty, of two mockeries of a sham.
If we are to have faith and justice, we need only to believe in ourselves.
And the truth shall set you free!
How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Oh, guilty, but with a real good excuse.
I think the truth will come forth.
You can't handle the truth!